Alright, I want to ask you guys a question. Have you ever read a book where you spend the whole time going, whoa, cool, holy crap? There were times where I was genuinely unsure of whether or not I liked the Red Queen. Let's talk about that. I will say this for the Red Queen. It's different. Plot-wise, it manages to wrangle in what seems like a fairly immense world into a decent introductory book, with surprisingly well-integrated elements of fantasy, technology, politics, and superhuman powers. I say surprisingly because there are moments in this novel that seem to be towing the line between innovation and absurdity. I also say surprisingly because there were elements that did not integrate very well at all, like romance and romance. Yeah, the romance was just yikes. But in the end, I think it shakes out just fine. Okay, so I start the Red Queen, and I'm about 10 pages in or so, right? And my first thought is, this was written to be a movie. No, I mean literally written to be a movie. This book just oozes book deal and movie contract. I looked it up, and I was right. Like, exactly right. It depends on who you ask, but me personally, I have no issue with pre-book release contracts or contracts at all. And to be fair, I'm assuming that she struck up this deal after the Red Queen final draft was completed, but still, especially at the start of this book, there is something particularly inorganic about the life of Mare, the lead heroine. It felt like I was reading a pitch for a book, more than a book itself. We pan in to lonely street urchin, Mare, who loves her family and friends, but is always in the shadow of her talented sister. But somewhere along the way, genuineness catches up with the rest of the story. And then I finally started to see what everybody was in a tizzy about. Because goodness gracious, this book is entertaining. I was really impressed with some seriously profound moments that found their way into the party. The question is, do the negatives balance out the positives? I just realized I have no idea how to say this author's name. Victoria Aveyard? Aveyard? Aveyard. Can I just say Aveyard? Are you guys gonna give me a hard time? You can correct me, it's cool. Just don't give me a hard time, man. It's been a hard week. Sure, on the one hand, Victoria Aveyard is a good writer who keeps a decent pace, a pretty dazzling plot, and creates a fictional world that provides a pretty broad speculation of power and politics. But on the other hand, the characters. Oy. You are not welcome to this party, sir. No one invited you. Say your name? What? What is it? You wanna hang out with me? I can't pinpoint the exact reason why all these characters need help. Maybe it's because of multiple reasons and I just haven't figured them out yet. But still, these characters need so much help. It is very possible that I'm alone in this. It wouldn't be the first time. Different readers perceive things differently, such as characters. Okay, now you wanna go? You wanna go now? Anyway, here's where I stand. I don't care about these characters. None of them. None. I feel nothing. It's bad enough that it took until the end of the book for me to feel like, I guess I kinda want Mare to prevail, kind of. But the fact that the Queen, the main antagonist, ended up being my favorite character. While characters like Prince Guy and the other Prince Guy who was bad, and that other guy who catches fish, were just So by the end of things, I was finally interested in what Mare had to show me. But that took a really long time, and I hope that the next book delves into her character arc with a little more tact this time. Characters are a big, big deal. I mean, obviously. It was like they were half finished. Like, I know what she was trying to accomplish with Cal. His name is Cal. I understand that she was alluding to some kind of ambiguity between Cal, his innately kind being, and duty to his kingdom, and his bloodline, but none of this really landed for me. I'm gonna go ahead and chalk it up to shallow character building prior to the final delivery of the novel. He's there, he says nice words, he dances with Mare, they kiss, he broods, he likes his brother till the end. And then the climax approaches and he kills his father, and the delivery is there. And he is a very present, very solid character suddenly, with a lot of emotional baggage. But it's like too little too late, you know? It's a good thing that this is just the first book. Because before all that, I couldn't fathom a single reason why I should consider Cal lovable or why I should care. Maven is a touch better, but it's pretty much the same dance. Nothing, 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 followed by Maven, the surprise traitor, and suddenly he's this really solid antagonistic character. Also, I might have not guessed the twist if not for the overbearing amount of foreshadowing dedicated to said twist. Didn't need that much foreshadowing. He's like his mother. 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 A more subtle touch would have made for a more shocking reveal, but hey, I don't even know if that's what she wanted. I don't even think she meant for it to be a twist. I don't know. Just saying. As for Killjoy, Killorn, I just don't really know why he's there. And I very seriously mean that. But this is the 3-book series, so it's possible that he will be important later? Question mark? I was texting my friend Meg. Hey Meg. And we were having a discussion about this. There is a truly strange disconnect where characters are concerned, to the point where I'm confused as to why the editor didn't say anything about it. All the characters are essentially the same person with like minor differing quirks. It is possible that I'm just being too harsh. This is only the first book, and there are more to come and fix things. And Aveyard clearly has the talent, so I don't have a reason not to be optimistic, right? But I've rested on this book for a while. I finished it a while ago. And I feel like if my opinion on the characters is still this strong, then it's worth talking about. But now that's done, I want to get into the good stuff. Because this is a good book. I am all about the moral ambiguity of Red Queen. The blurring of political lines and making people more human. It's just spectacular in that aspect. It is not black and white, us versus them. I really, really like that. It's almost as if Aveyard does a better job commenting on humanity and social structures as a whole than she does with focusing on individual characters, which, you know, is normally the other way around with young adult fiction. When Aveyard breaks down prejudice and other arbitrary boundaries to show these really gorgeous, sad, humanizing moments is a lot more than I can say for a lot more of young adult books. This really took me by surprise, and I'm both impressed and appreciative. I've come to expect really shallow explanations for social divisions and other young adult books, but the Red Queen does a pretty remarkable job of revealing something worth talking about. Less black and white, more complex. I am in love with the components of power. Superhuman powers, which were super creative and cool, and power between people, like the difference in influential power between the king and queen, between Cal and Maven, between Gisa and Mare, etc., etc. These superhuman powers also, to me, seemed really reflective of each character, like their individual social powers and their attitudes, like a more external, exaggerated representation, and I thought that was so freaking cool and very smart and well done. Stuff like that made me feel like I was being taken seriously as a reader. And despite the issues with the characters, made me think that Aveyard is not only a clearly talented writer, but is also very interested in making the Red Queen an intuitive reading experience. It's only the first book, but Aveyard has expanded deeply on her themes and her universe without giving too much away. And although sometimes she can be a little on the nose, for the most part, it makes for a terrific book. Her downfall, then, seems to be prioritizing. She gave plot and themes all the lovin', and kind of left our heroine in the dust in the meantime. And I'm kind of hoping she gives the rebellion a little more attention next time around, too. But I have a feeling that the Red Queen is just the tip of the iceberg, and there's a lot more to come for the series in Aveyard. Despite its problems, I am very interested, very invested. I'm dedicated now, so when Glass Sword comes out in, I think, February, I'm gonna be there to see what happens, and hope for the best. And I think, honestly, seriously, I think we're gonna get the best.